Yo, 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 yo. Yeah, 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 yeah. Mike, what's going on, baby?
What's going on, man? It's game day. I'm hype. I'm excited, man. I can't wait for tonight. I need to get in the time machine and just get there. Like I'm ready to be pacing. I'm ready to be walking around, ready to be screaming. I can't wait for the Patreon show, man. I know it's on regular TV. Y'all don't need to do the Patreon stuff, but I got music to start us off with. You asked who was walking out the tunnel. I'm coming out the tunnel before the game, baby. I'm gonna have music and everything going over here. And you know what my song is gonna be?
What's that?
Clap Back by Ja Rule, man. We coming off a loss too. Come
Hey,
on, man. Come on, man. We gotta turn that joint up. I know it's not what they listen to. They
hey.
listen to all that. Yada, I'm sorry, but I gotta go with the beat. Come on, man.
I got you. I got you. If I came out to a song right now in the tunnel, I'm gonna keep it on some New York stuff. It's gonna be Lean Back, Fat Joe, Scott Storch on the beat. Because I feel like the 49ers gonna come.
Oh, that movie's so tough.
Dude, they're gonna come in leaning back because you know what I'm saying. Like, look, I'm telling you right now, yo, that the Niners are gonna go out there and do some damage. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to No Harm, No Foul. It's your host Wayne Breezy and the one and only Mike Andrews. We are back. Today's a special edition because it's Monday Night Football and the 49ers play on Monday Night Football. But we're not even going to get into that on this little small 30-minute episode because we got a question that we want to talk about. You know, with Deebo Samuel, there's two premier wide receivers in the league. One can't figure out how to stay healthy to play for their team, and the other don't want to be on that team anymore. The trade deadline is October 31st, Halloween, right? And so the question, Mike, we're going to have a discussion. Deebo Samuel versus I don't want to say versus swapped with Davante Adams. And the question that we're gonna ask is, would you make the swap? Like, would you switch these two wide receivers straight up? Don't tell me straight up and down. No picks, no nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Straight up and down. Straight up, straight up, straight up, straight up and down. Let's go, baby. Let's go. I love some Bruno Mars. I'm sorry. Let's go. I'm sorry. So we're gonna open up the lines, right? Like we're gonna have them in there. I just posted the tweet to I posted the link to the tweet with the poll in it, y'all. So if y'all can see that over there, click that link, go vote if y'all hadn't already. This started from a very, very, very innocent question. I swear. A very
Mike, ain't nothing you post is innocent, bro. So,
I
so
promise it was innocent. I
cut
promise it was innocent.
No, it's not, Mike. It's not.
Yo, the
I'm a,
Terror Squad. That should be the name of our defense.
that is kind of dope.
Oh my
They don't they
God.
don't they don't play like Terror Squad. They don't seem
Mm.
gully enough for me, yo.
Oh, shit, I'm gonna introduce you to Green Law later, but all right, that's cool. Let's
No, no,
all
no, no,
right.
no. I didn't. I said they, not one player. One player ain't the whole defense.
You know your stuff, man. I ain't gonna argue with that.
They don't play like, you know what I'm saying.
They
Like,
don't embrace it. Like that 2012 defense, right? Like they
yeah,
all
like the Patrick Willis and the Navarro Bowmans and the Cowboy and they
Alvin
was
Smith,
yeah
Hittner,
they
the Hawk. Oh
yeah.
my God, them boys was bringing wood, Pauls.
I can't figure out the identity of this defense yet. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, are they heavy hitters? Are
Are we
they
finesse?
finesse?
We damn sure ain't fast. We got probably the lowest secondary in the entire NFL. They got the slowest damn team I ever seen in my entire life. We
I
love 4, 6, 7 DBs, bro. I
that's
swear.
that's straight up and down speed though, Mike. That's 40 speed, Mike. I'm you know that's 40 speed. I feel like we got smarter runners. Like they run on angles. They run and they literally running angle routes out there, the DBs. But let's talk about these wide receivers, Mike, because the Niners, Deebo Samuel, who I think is an intricate piece to the 49ers offense. I mean, you start taking pieces away and adding different pieces, they might not fit the puzzle.
Mm.
So my thoughts on, you know, the tweet that you pros, which I posted inside of the chat. So guys, if you want to see that, go vote on that joint. Just click on the link. It's right there in the chat. And then you can also, if you're watching the show here on the Wayne Breezy channel. The poll is there as well. And right now, 70% is saying no. So on my poll, uh, you have the results to your poll as
Yes.
well. But look, Mike, let's get down to the gritty. Let's get down to the nitty gritty, bro. Let's talk about this. So first of all, what made you pose this question?
All right. Well, if I say what made me write the question, it's going to sound like I'm trying to sway people one way or the other. But I was looking at how unsatisfied with his current situation Davante Adams is. And I was looking at how Deebo's role has changed here since the acquisition of Christian McCaffrey. And I was thinking, where would both of these guys be happy? And I kind of want to stop there. I don't want to try to sway anyone's decisions, unless you want me to say what I really thought. But
Well, you're gonna say I want you to say what's real, but like when you write a question, you don't put that in there. You just wrote the question.
Yes, and I just wanted to know what people thought. I just want to know what people thought.
Okay, so it's Deebo back with Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't know.
You don't think what?
I don't think he gonna like that.
Why not?
Because I just don't.
Where does Deebo make his bread and
Mike,
butter?
it's a different offense, Mike. That's number one. It's not a different offense. So why the Raiders look like shit?
Because it's a different offense and different players.
I just said it was a different offense
and different players.
Oh, Mike, man, you know what, Mike?
Is Jimmy dinking and dunking over there?
He trying.
No. I ain't say chucking. I said dinking and dunking. Short passes.
He can.
Yes. Right?
No, he's not. That's my point. He's trying to get the ball intermediate routes.
And he's struggling.
Yeah.
But Jimmy is Jimmy.
But that doesn't mean that doesn't mean he doesn't have the players. You telling me he got one of the there's 5 running backs in this league. 5 total. There's how many running backs in the league that start? 32, right? 5 out of those 32 running backs can fit Christian McCaffrey, Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley, and I probably can't even name the other
Austin
2.
Eckler. Right? Stop playing.
Austin Eckler. I forgot. My bad. And I can't think of the 5th one. But you know where I'm going with this. And he chooses not to use Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs is better when Jimmy doesn't even play. And you know why? Because Jimmy can't throw to running backs.
Exactly. But what Jimmy can do is hit Deebo.
No, he can't. Jimmy struggles with screens. That's my point. Let me ask you this question. Who's the better route runner? Davante Adams or Deebo Samuel?
Davante Adams.
So why can't Jimmy hit Davante Adams on quick slants?
Because it's more Davante Adams is a route tree guy, right? His stem
still run the slant. He still runs the slants. He ran it on us. Like he could still do it.
But that's not what he wants to do.
It doesn't matter what he wants to do. My point is Jimmy's limited, and I think it would limit Deebo. If I go back to the beginning of your question, and I go back to when you kind of prefaced where he would be most happy. It's going on for you. You think Deebo just want to run slants? Just want to run screens?
It's not just about slants and screens. It's not just that. So right, check this out, right? Deebo's probably never going to be 1,000-yard receiver here again. If Christian, now he might get 1,000 all-purpose yards, but if Christian McCaffrey stays and Ayuk stays, he's probably never going to be. I won't say 1,000. He probably won't get to 1,100 though. He won't get 1,200.
But I agree with you. It's not built. It's the same thing as George Kittle. He's taking the decline, just like George Kittle. But that doesn't mean he's not happy here. If anything, it prolongs his career. Hey, Mike.
Nah, he's still getting injured, as evidenced by this next couple of weeks.
It still can prolong his career. He just ain't figured out his body and how to stay healthy. Go ahead.
I think Deebo is the most dangerous around the line of scrimmage. Jimmy Garoppolo is nervous throwing downfield. They complement each other in that aspect. And now you bring Davante Adams here.
Nick Chubbs. Thank you, Alberto. I'm sorry. Go ahead. That was the other one.
Yeah. Now you bring, I'm about to say Nick Chubb. Now you bring Davante Adams here. 1, a winning culture. And 2, imagine what he would do opening up the field for guys like Christian McCaffrey. Imagine what he would. Imagine what he would
Oh,
do.
Adams.
Yes, imagine what Adams would do for Christian McCaffrey. They can't stack that box if it's Ayuk on one side and Adams on one side, and
I
Ayuk's
just,
route running is good.
I, I,
Imagine what that gives him.
I feel like you're limiting Deebo. Like when Brandon Ayuk didn't play, Deebo wasn't. He was the receiver. See what I'm saying? And he was targeted how many times? What, 12 or 10? It was a lot. But he caught, I think, half of those passes. Some of them were behind him, some of them were broken up, but he caught some of those passes as a wide receiver. So I feel like Deebo is still a true receiver. He's just not being utilized in this system that way. And I don't think he'll be utilized in Josh McDaniel's system and any other way. If they can't make it work with the better wide receiver, because this is not about who's better. To me, this is not about who's better. Because Davante Adams is the better wide receiver, clearly, hands down. For me. Do you agree?
Absolutely.
But this is not that question. This is because after you just posed the question, now you're kind of saying, where would they be most happy? Where would they be most? I still feel like this is a dink and dunk offense, and Davante Adams will be shelved just like Deebo Samuel.
You think that this is a dink and dunk offense, even with Brock Purdy?
Of course it is. It's still run the ball first, throw the ball short, and then open up down the field. Just
Brock
because he
Purdy has
attempts,
one of the highest average depth
the dude
targets
is
in the
attempting.
league.
Yeah, he's only attempting 3 or 4, Mike. Like, it's not like he's attempting 30 passes down the field.
Average depth of target. He's top 5 in the NFL. What are you talking about?
It's my point is, it's not. They're not trying to take the top off the D every freaking week. They will attempt, but they're not. He didn't have 3 or 4 attempts last week.
Deep shots versus 12, 15-yard passes are very, very different. He don't throw the ball a bunch 40 yards downfield. Davante Adams ain't just running go routes and 9 routes. Like, that's not the only thing he's doing.
I'm not saying that's the only thing he's doing, but that's what he's known for. He's known to beat their guy man to man, one-on-one. We got Brandon Ayuk for that.
Wait, you view Davante Adams as a deep threat only?
I didn't say a deep threat.
Not only. I don't want to use the word only.
That he's the better route runner. He's the better wide receiver. You can line Davante up in the slot and he'll win his matchup 9 times out of 10. He did it against us a couple 4 times, right? We watched it. But my point is, if the defenses are playing to where you got to get the ball out of hand quick, how is that allowing him to develop to run the route? He has to result back into what the defenses are doing. So it's hike, ball out. That's Deebo just seems to fit here, and Davante can fit anywhere. But if this offense is to get the ball out the hand quick, where do we go? How are we maximizing off of Davante Adams?
I think Davante Adams, like I said, opens up everything. Run game, he creates more space for Kittle, he creates more space for Ayuk, and vice versa.
Bro.
Let's see what the callers got to say. Hey, by the way, one last caveat as to why who would be happier where. Deebo would be more of a necessity over there with Jimmy because of Jimmy's limits, and 17% of Deebo's contract is incentives. Just want to put that out there.
So you're trying to say he would benefit more if he went to the Raiders because he can reach those incentives.
He would get more touches with Jimmy Garoppolo as his quarterback than with Brock Purdy.
I think he would get more touches, not just with Jimmy Garoppolo as his quarterback. I think he would get more touches because the Raiders are a shit show on offense, and they ain't got nobody else but Davante Adams. And then when you throw in Jacoby Myers, like he seems to be getting more touches than Davante Adams. That's the problem.
What kind of receiver is Jacoby Myers?
He ain't no Deebo Samuel.
What? That's where is he a deep threat?
Yes, Rome. He can be.
Yo, you slick.
He might not be a deep threat in Vegas, but he was definitely used as a deep threat in New England. That's why I said that.
All right. Okay.
That's the only reason why I said that. Like, honestly. All right, let's put the link in here. Let's get him on, man. Everybody watching on both streams, man. Look, we got 15 minutes. Let's go ahead and
It's
bang
gonna be
these out.
fun.
First come, first serve.
While we're waiting for people to get here, I have been astonished at the results of the poll. What are your numbers right now? Just curious.
Wow. We got almost 100 votes, about 70
Mhm.
votes, and 69% of them says no.
They would not do it, right?
They will not trade it. They
So
will not
on
swap.
on Twitter, I have 1,174 votes and 50.6%. So it's almost 50-50. But they say hell no. They would not trade him. People are really, really attached to the players on this team, and it's kind of nuts to me.
I don't know if they're attached to just. It's easy for you to say that they're attached to the player, but I don't think it's the player. I think it's the player and the role of that player and what they do. I mean, if you go back, Mike, I don't know if you really paid attention to the game in Cleveland. The moment Debo was injured, the shit hit the fan. Now
That's
people
because
will
he was part of the game plan.
that bingo. So I'm and that's my point. So my point is, if the player is part of the game plan and the offense don't work, I mean, it's not much adjusting. I don't think the head coach can do in that particular situation. But that's how vital he is to this offense. Now, that doesn't mean that the game plan won't be different against the Minnesota Vikings. There's a different defense, and now you prep to not have Debo, but you're also going to be missing that home run hitter, that one guy that can take 1 yard pass and take it for to the house. Now, will we get that from others? Possibly. All right, we got our first caller in here. Let's get him in here. What's going on, bro?
What's going on?
All right, now we hear you clearly.
Yes, I made sure this time. What's going on, Mike?
Hey, what's going on, big dog? How you doing, man?
This is a good discussion, but I'm gonna have to side with Wayne on this one, man. Like, I don't see Davante being utilized. Deebo is different. Deebo is a different kind of player altogether. Uh, the way he runs the ball, the way that he is utilized in this offense makes him more valuable here. He would get more touches over the Raiders, but he wouldn't want to be over there because the team sucks. And he don't want to be on such a team. Who wants to go there? Like, they're not good, and he's on a playoff ready team. So no, to that, I don't think he would want to go there. I don't think he would like it better over there. I get you money wise. I understand what you're saying, Mike, because you're really talking money wise, like how he get more bad. And yeah, if that's what he's after. And I think that would be making the judgment to be more about the money than the game. I don't know if I can say that about him. But Devontae will bring a different asset. He'll bring a different ability, but I think he would take Ayuk's stuff away. He would be used more like that. Uh, if anything, but nah, nah. That's just my opinion. I mean, what do you think? How you feel about? Because the money
But
wise is cool, right? I mean, yeah,
it's just,
but
I think Mike brought up the incentives, like how he can earn those
right.
those indicators in his contract, and it just seems like he ain't gonna be able to reach them. But for some reason, and that's funny, Mike. You brought that up because I talked earlier about Debo with the injury. Is he injured? Whatever. But what if this is not that year where he makes certain marks, or he feel like he can make them up later? I don't know. It's a whole nother conversation. But Mike went and researched that shit after we finished the show. I know he did because he would have said that earlier. Mike think he's slick.
I think the argument will be asking them would be more of the contract wise for Debo. Is that's kind of where your point is? Because other than that, I don't see why he would be happy to go to much lesser team with a much lesser quarterback, I don't see the excitement. I mean, um, would you take a job paying you, giving you the benefit to be able to make more money, but you hate it, or stay somewhere where it can come, he can still get it. There's no, I mean, we don't even know what it is, what his incentives are. So he may still achieve them here. I mean, but I want Super Bowl more than anything else. I get that. He's still on the contract. I get that other stuff later. A Super Bowl win makes me legendary.
Okay.
Gives me the status, the longevity status. Because I mean, that's that is the mark, right? You can get the bag, chase it. I know. I mean, yeah, I get it though. But I think if he gets much better, stay here. He's better utilized, and what he does for this offense would be different with Davante. And that will change the skin.
Listen, bro, we appreciate you for calling in and giving your take on it, man. It's always good to hear from you, bro. But we're gonna go ahead and continue the show. But thanks for calling in, bro. All right,
One
man.
love, bro.
Be safe, man.
So yeah, he doesn't think it makes sense because of the fit, right?
Yes. I mean, all right. I don't want people to think that by trading Deebo away, that means that we don't have a defined role for him. It doesn't mean that we don't think that he's a valuable weapon or any of that. It's just, would you make the trade for? Would you trade for Davante Adams? You're not trading just for some random guy. And I think that Niners fans are also extremely used to, this guy is the real wide receiver. This guy is the possession wide receiver. This guy is the blocking wide receiver. And this guy is the gadget wide receiver, right? We don't have to have each individual type of wide receiver. What happens if you put two good route runners on the field at the same time? That's Cincinnati. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't have to be like each person is defined to their own role. I think there can be more. I think there can be more. I want somebody to click this damn link and come in here, and y'all don't have to agree with me, but I want to hear why y'all are afraid to trade Deebo. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I mean, if you're talking contracts, then we could talk contracts, right? Because that could be a reason why people are afraid.
So
Right?
it's only $4 million difference.
Yeah, but
One,
what's the end? 4 million? How? Like, what's the indicator? Like Debo's money is based off of if he plays, pretty much it's incentive based, opposed to guarantee money, right?
yes.
Uh
I
huh.
mean, well, he's got his guarantees. Let me be very clear. He got a lot of his guarantees and all that stuff. The signing bonus, both of them. One guy is at 28 million. The other guy's at like 24 and some change. It's not a big difference in total dollars. It's not.
So
Let
they
me pull it
both,
up.
so both of the guarantees are done. So like, because Debo didn't take his money in the beginning, and he only got 1 year left on his deal anyway, right?
So Samuel's contract includes more fully guaranteed money at signing. Oh wait, that says what? Why?
He
That
was extended, right, with the Raiders. Once he signed, once he was traded, he got extended with the Raiders, right?
yes. All right. So how Deebo Samuel's extension compares with Davante Adams, DK Metcalf, Cooper Kupp. Okay. Other wideouts. Let me see here. Tyler Lockett. Come on, where is it with the
So everybody else is afraid to talk about Deebo Samuel except for. All right, I'm gonna post the link one more time. We got time for one more. Like,
it says compared to Deebo Samuel, Adams is bringing in $4.15 million more. That is it. Adams bet on himself, spurning the comfort of Aaron Rodgers and Lambeau from the Vegas Heat, but he was more than compensated for his decision. Adams' contract carries an average of $28 million a year, making him the second most valuable wide receiver in the league compared to Deebo Samuel, who is bringing in $4.15 million more. Adams is bringing in.
Mr.
So
G 49er 00 is giving me Adams. That's two legit number ones.
let's go, Mr. G.
Yeah, but
Come on, baby.
I mean, all right. So let's talk personalities now. So Deebo. Nah, you could Mike see the facial expression.
I'm allowed to smile, bro.
That
It's
wasn't
my
a smile.
face.
That was a smirk. It's totally different. Look up the definition. Since you look shit up all the time, look at the definition between smile and smirk. But seriously, like let's talk about that because that's got to play a role, right? Like that's got to be a factor. Will Adams compliment Ayuk or will they walk away from like there's so many different things that can possibly happen if you do make this trade. Because now
This offense wouldn't excite you with Adams here instead of Deebo?
it would take a minute. Like, no, I just like Deebo's threat to possibly take plays to the house on every time he gets the ball on a catch. I feel like the run portion of Deebo Samuel needs to be terminated, but I think I understand why Kyle don't want to terminate it as of yet because he still feels like one of them joints can take it to the house. He just got to catch the defense slipping. But the defense is prepared for Deebo to run. After that 2021 year, whatever that year was, did you see defenses aren't letting it happen? Let's get Eric in here so we can shut up for a little bit. Eric, what's going on, bro?
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Eric, what up, man?
How y'all doing today?
We're doing good. So, what are your thoughts on this Deebo swap for Davante Adams?
Yeah, it's kind of loud here, but I'm trying. What was that?
Is you got a lot of stuff going on in your background? Sound like you bowling.
I was gonna say the same thing. I swear he in a bowling alley. Eric, can you hear us?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
Eric, we can't hear you clearly, so we're gonna have to let you go. I do apologize for
I don't
that.
know if this is gonna work, fellas. I'm sorry.
All right,
He tried. He tried. Hey,
We'll
look,
try another one.
let's get the Nothing But Niners resident GM in here.
Where is he?
Let's get him in here. I just sent him the link. Let's go, man. Let's go. Nah, and that wasn't a strike. I heard it. It was a 7-pin still standing.
How can you hear that there's a 7-pin still standing? It has a certain sound.
I'm in a bowling league, bro.
Okay, my bad. That don't mean you good, but okay.
All
Tony,
right.
Yeah.
good, bro? Long time no see, bro.
What's up? First
It's
of all,
about
how long
time-
do we have?
Till you freaking finish.
Okay. All right. Just real quick. I spoke to Mike about this earlier, right?
Stop speaking to Mike. That's the problem.
So the way I look at it is this. I mean, is it something you talk about? Sure. Not this point of the season, though, right? We all know Kyle, what Kyle likes to do. He likes to take advantage of 21 personnel and be able to interchange all these guys all over the field. You could switch lining McCaffrey in the backfield, Deebo in the backfield. You can motion either one of them out. You could align all 5 guys as eligible receivers and send them down out on a pattern. This is the versatility that Kyle has with these two players because they're both interchangeable pieces. Now, if we're going to sit here and say this is the Atlanta offense and Deebo was the Julio Jones of the Atlanta offense, sure, you could take that in consideration and say we're going to go for a more fluent route runner and a better playmaking wide receiver. But with this offense and at this point of the season, I'm just against making the move because now you have to kind of flip the whole scheme to adjust to more of a to having 2 pure wide receivers than 1 pure wide receiver and 2 animals with the balls in their hands. So
I just don't break it down like Tony, but that's the same fucking shit that I've been saying. Like that's my point. That's my whole point.
All right, now Wayne, in your defense, when Tony texts me, he says send me the link because I think Wayne is trying to say the same thing I was saying. So y'all are on the same page. Y'all are on the same page.
I just didn't break it down in the 21 personnel because the GM got to come up here and act smart and shit. So I just didn't break it down into having 2 running backs out there with the wide receiver and the tight end, and
listen, it comes down to this. Kyle's playing chess, right?
Yeah, it's options, Tony.
He wants to force teams to stay in their base defense. That's what he wants because he wants to be able, on the snap of a dime, take that running back, shift him in motion, and have that matchup against a linebacker.
Bingo.
So this team I don't think Davante Adams is a fit for what Kyle does with this offense, this roster on the offensive side of the ball, because I don't see Davante Adams motioning from out wide to the backfield and then motioning McCaffrey out of the backfield to out wide and handing the ball off to Davante Adams.
He wouldn't do that because that's not the kind of player Davante Adams is. Now, tell me what Kyle could do with Davante Adams here. See, we're looking at what Kyle does with the ingredients, right? But if the ingredients change, so does the meal. And now we got a whole different kind of scheme going on.
But my thing is this. What's their record right now? They're 4-1, right?
Who?
5-1.
We're 5-1, the Niners.
Oh.
At 5-1, you do not want to tinker with what you have, especially in 5 of the games you're scoring 30.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
What? Y'all better stop it. Y'all better stop
it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Deebo Samuel accounted for all of 4 touches in the last 3 games for the 49ers, and he's about to miss the next 2. Y'all better stop.
No, but it's the threat of Deebo being on the field, Mike.
So do I need to talk about the touches for Davante Adams, who got like 0 that last game?
I dare you to break down Davante Adams touches. I dare you.
Let's do it.
Well, let me ask you this.
Let's do it because he ain't get any touches last week. Ask me how I know.
I have one question. How is it Jacoby Myers is outperforming Davante Adams, but Davante Adams is being talked up as being an A-plus target for the 49ers in a Deebo Samuel swap?
Because he's unhappy, Tony.
So let me ask you this. Why would you want to insert something like that into this scenario where right now at 5-1, God willing 6-1 tonight, everybody knows their roles. Everybody's content with their roles. And this system, 5 out of 6 games, has put 30-plus points up a game. That's my question.
I just feel...
And it's not a knock against Davante Adams as the player.
Right.
But the way this team is built and structured, I just don't see... I'm not going to say the need, but I'm going to say the caliber. Well,
maybe not now. I think Tony's preface and his caveat is the now versus the future factor.
Now, if you want to talk about this trade in the offseason where Kyle could come up with a whole new scheme.
And now he changes the scheme and the game plan, that's a whole different conversation.
Correct. And that's what I said to you on the phone, Mike. If this is an offseason deal that they're talking about, that's something we could sit down and talk about and discuss and be pretty damn serious about. But in the middle of a season and potentially having to flip everything, I just don't think it's the best thing right now for the way this team is constructed.
That's fair. And I like that better than, this guy does this and this guy does that and he's a web. I like that. Changing it now.
The problem right now, Mike, in this offense,
and we'd be forcing that cog into the system. Exactly. I understand that aspect.
But now, the point of it is this offense, you need that threat. You need the versatility of that threat where you can motion McCaffrey out, motion Deebo in, and run a toss sweep with Deebo. Or align Deebo in the backfield, motion him out, motion McCaffrey from the slot receiver into the backfield, and run an inside gap scheme. You need that flexibility because it all comes down to this.
But
it's about keeping that defense in their base scheme and putting those type of playmakers on those linebackers. Because how many times have you seen Ayuk in a slot, Deebo in a slot, and then Kittle or Juice is flexed out wide when they're not into block? That forces mismatches. And when you get that read and you get that look, that's before the ball is even snapped, that's advantage 49ers because of the matchup.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Wayne?
I'm sorry.
No, you good. You good.
I forgot.
Listen, y'all, I heard y'all ask. Okay,
I was going to say, because you said about players not working. They're just different skill set. They just have different skill sets. Mm-hmm. And what I was trying to say earlier is, like, based off of what Kyle Shanahan does, Deebo is the fit. Whereas I don't think Adams would be the fit. I didn't say right now, but I'm inferring or applying to right now because that's what we're talking about right now. Mm-hmm. So but I also said that Davante Adams is the better wide receiver. But if you got the route runner in Brandon Ayuk and you see that he's beating everyone. And I like Mike, you trying to inject 2 of those. So like now you're gonna have 2. My question is then if the defenses realize that it's going to take them where they're going to put more DBs out on the field to have to cover, and it could just be a potential problem. But that doesn't mean you can't still run the ball because you rather have the defense, the DBs out there during the run game. So I just don't think he fits as of right now. And then personality wise, if he don't get the damn ball, he gonna say something. I don't know if we want that. Y'all talk about all the people y'all don't want in here because they talk trash. They talk. He gonna talk. So if y'all
Why-
ready for that,
Why is he talking?
because
Why is he
wants the
upset right now?
ball. Because he wants the ball.
Well,
not why
it
he's
could
upset
be
right now,
whether it's he wants the ball and he's not getting it, or he's frustrated with losing.
And there's another factor that y'all are really, really leaving out. When
Really?
he went there, Derek Carr was supposed to be his quarterback, someone he had chemistry with from college.
Bro,
They got rid of him
he
without.
shitted on Derek Carr too.
Come
Yeah,
on,
he
man.
did. No, he did,
Come on,
Mike. He
man.
did.
And Mike
He-
know it. Now they're going to smirk again. The motherfuckers don't stop smirking now. There's the smile. There's the smile. That's the smile.
Now, if you want to talk about a power move and you make a massive go all in for 2023 and you say, let's trade for Davante and sit and send some picks that way and package of
Oh,
picks
that's
for a
definitely
couple
a power
players.
move. That's definitely a power move. That's
Now,
all-purpose
and now
power.
you're going to tell me you're going to trot him out as the third receiver? Now that's something you could talk about because now you're not changing the context of our offense
You're
and the
just adding your
philosophy of our
extra
offense.
dexterity to the off. I like that. Now we
Now
talk.
that is a scenario, but I don't think that could happen because of the money situation and what it would take to get him.
Okay, Mike. We just talked about the money. You just said it was only 28 million, and we got 41. So why wouldn't it work?
Well, so my idea was a trade, not 2 wide receivers making
but
28 million.
We
Plus,
extended
you
the
got to
show.
pay Ayuk.
You don't got to pay him till next year. So the money for him right now, what is he going to make next year?
Well,
they potentially have control of Ayuk for what, 2 years or 3 years?
I feel like it's 2 more years.
2 more
Well,
years.
no, he's got the final year of his deal next year, and then he could do franchise 2 years.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
So technically, they could control him for 3 years. Do they do that? No. But
no, that's all guaranteed. And
That's all, right. They're
it's
not trying
tough.
to pay
It's very tough
wide
to do.
receiver $18 million a year.
But they control his destination. He can't just go sign somewhere.
Correct.
So they have that protection, but I mean, again, I don't think they're going to pull that deal for him to come in as a number 3 option.
But that would be a hell of a power move, bro.
As a 3 receiver.
That would be a hell of a power.
Let me also say this. Let me also say this, right? Tony came in, he was talking about the 21 personnel and creating mismatches and lining up Kittle wide or Juszczyk wide with one of the wide receivers in the backfield and Christian McCaffrey in the slot and all that, right? Do y'all know why Kyle has to do that? Y'all know why he has to create mismatches?
Why?
Because the pure talent can't do it. He's creating mismatches instead of just lining these guys up and saying, hey, go bust their ass one-on-one. He wouldn't have to do that with Davante Adams here. But Davante Adams is going to smoke whatever corner is on him. And Brandon Ayuk is going to smoke whatever corner is on him. And then Christian McCaffrey is going to smoke whatever linebacker is on him. Okay, and George Kittle is going to smoke whatever linebacker or tight end is, safety is on him. Then there's no need to create and play the puppet dancing game. My man can just come out here and run an offense and open shit up for real.
No, they can't, Mike. And the reason why is because this offensive line ain't built for that shit. And so, like, if we really want to have this conversation, now we got to go back to addressing what really needs to be addressed, which is the offensive line, which will give Brock time to actually allow these runners to route these guys up like the way they need to route up. So all that trickery and all that motion and all that stuff that we need to do lining up at 21, it's part of what Kyle is doing. He's continuing to play chess. I definitely like the piece of Adams. I don't think it should happen to the cost of Deebo because that's less chess. That's less chess playing, less strategy, less whatever from Kyle Shanahan. But we talk about this offensive line every single week, and they just can't block that long. They're just not going to be able to block that long. And I'm not talking about for a ball to go down the field on a fly or a 9 route or whatever like that. I'm just saying, now you're asking Brock to drop back. You're asking the offensive line to hold the block so that these guys can route their guys up. And then the ball's got to be there. I just feel like that ain't with the way the offense is built. Now, if we address the offensive line, get some better pieces on the offensive line, then possibly that can be something that happens in the future.
If you have 2 wide receivers running pristine routes when they're supposed to, the offensive line don't have to protect for 5-6 seconds.
I'm
We
not
have
even
no
talking
problem.
5. We can't
We
even
have-
protect for 3. The fuck you
That's not
talking
true.
about?
That's not true. Y'all
Okay.
dump on this
All right.
offensive line when it's
I'm not
convenient for y'all
jumping
arguing.
on the offensive line. I'm telling you, that's the offensive line that we have. This offensive line is literally built to get the ball out quick. It's quick intermediate routes so that because the offensive line are built. They're quick. They got quick feet. And what are they doing once that ball is out their hand? You got guys down the field ready to block for whoever's running the ball. That's our offensive line. You don't see that with any other offensive line in the NFL, bro.
You know I'm over here Googling time to throw. I'm gonna find it. I'm telling you, I'm gonna find
I
it,
know
man.
you are. I know you are, because that's what you do. And I'm not saying the offensive line stinks. That is not what I'm saying. Whoa. That ain't what I'm saying. I'm just saying that the offensive line really isn't built to pass. It's built to pass quickly and block in the run game. It's been like that. Mike computing in the head. That's
I'm
what
making
Mike.
sure I'm looking up the right one. I'm making sure I'm looking up the right one.
And I don't mind being wrong. You guys know that. I'm
How
just
is Aaron Rodgers at the top of his list. This man played 2 snaps.
I think that's why it's how many snaps?
He played like 2 snaps. He
thought it
was
was
one
one.
series. It might have been one play, honestly.
One play. But I'm just saying, Mike, like, I don't know, Tony, do you see it any differently, or like am I just speaking out the butthole? But I just feel like that's our offensive line.
I agree with you. I do think the offensive line, but listen, you can't have top talent at an offensive line when you're paying all these other guys as well.
There we go.
So you got to play the economic game, and you have Trent, which is probably the best left tackle in the NFL. So you have that protecting Purdy's blind side, but then whatever else you have, you got to fill it out with what you could squeeze in there. You got to draft and develop talent. You can't, and that's part of the reason, like, McGlinchey's not here. Like, McGlinchey's contract that he signed, he's no way worth what he signed for, in my opinion. He leads the league in false starts. He's missing games. But that's the problem with free agency. If it's not a player that you feel that is worth the investment, that you could lock up on a fair deal, and he hits free agency, he's gone, because you can't compete with those deals with teams that have hundreds of millions of dollars in salary cap.
Correct.
And the Niners they prioritized their defensive line. They invested huge in their defensive line. They're double figures across the line, except for friggin' Cleveland Farrell.
God, we're right in the middle of the pack, right? Oh, wait. I'm in the wrong one. Sorry, I'm in the wrong one.
So the Niners, like now, the question is, what happens when Banks comes up on his deal? This is year 3 for Banks.
Top 10 offense and time in the pocket for the quarterback. Don't talk about my offensive line. Let's go. Let's go. Top 10, baby.
So what's the number?
McGlinchey got overpaid, but that's my dog, so I still ride for him.
What's the number?
2.3. 49ers are at 2.3. The number one is at 2.7. So be very, very clear. Be very clear with what I'm saying.
Who is that?
Justin Fields, and that's because he extends plays.
Okay, who's number 2?
Kirk Cousins, 2.6. But he gets hit a lot. He throws as he's getting hit, so he's buying more time back there. Yeah. Next, Ryan Tannehill. After that, Zach Wilson. Now, this is all a tie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-way tie here for the next time between Deshaun Watson, Bryce Young, Jimmy Garoppolo, Zach Wilson, and Ryan Tannehill. And then you have a 1, 2, 3-way tie, Stroud, Carr, and Wilson, and then boom, there we are.
So 2.7 seconds is what we get.
Is number 1. 2.7 is the longest time average per drop back from the time you snap the ball to throw it. That's the best in the league.
Yeah, teams is blitzing for sure.
Worst in the league is Jared Goff at 1.8. Wow. Damn, that is crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, so and we that's with us being one of the most blitzed teams so far in the NFL this year. So I'm just saying, our offensive line gets a raw deal. This was a fun discussion, man. Y'all about to get me turned up. What am I ordering tonight? What y'all eating tonight?
I think I'm gonna go Chinese. I think that's quick and that's what I want. I think. I don't know if I'm feeling the sodium intake, but
You put soy sauce in your Chinese food still?
I know, but it's just cooked in sodium.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Add that MSG. I don't know what it is. It kills elephants or something like that. But that shit tastes better, right?
it just does. It has to have whatever that is. It better. Yeah, I can tell when it doesn't. How about that?
What about you, Tom? What you eating tonight, man?
My wife's making eggplant parm.
Oh,
It sounds
ooh. Fancy man over there. Okay. All right, Kim. Shout out to Miss Kim.
Yeah.
So nobody else wanted to come on and tell us that they want Davante. So we got
It's too
two
late.
people come on and say no.
Yeah. Well, one person said no. Oh, well, Tony said no.
It's not a no. It's no in the current situation.
It's
And
no now.
No.
Yeah.
No right now.
Still a no.
Still no. It's no now. It just doesn't. It doesn't make sense to screw with everything. And what the hell was that?
I wanted to say yo.
Yeah,
but I didn't say it. I'm mad that he knew that's what I was going to say because I didn't let it out.
But I could read whatever. But nah, listen, seriously, look, I like the way the team is constructed. I do think that the team will be looking to do something, but I think it's going to be more on the defensive side. And so let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Usually they add an offensive piece, kind of. Let's see if we add a defensive piece this year. John Lynch kind of spoke about it. And Mike, maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow on the show because John Lynch made light that he wouldn't mind adding a DB to
Just
this.
real quick, if they add an offensive piece, who would you guys look at?
They added an offensive piece. Y'all don't want to hear my answer, so it's cool.
Go ahead.
I'm still looking for another wide receiver.
I think I am too, though. That doesn't mean it need to be Davante Adams, though.
I think pending
it won't be an offensive lineman. How about that?
When they reevaluate him after next week going into the bye, I think if you start hearing rumors of Cordell Patterson,
yes,
I think that would be the right direction to go. I think he's an upgrade as a return guy.
Oh, hands down.
Okay. And I think that's where he'll pay his biggest dividends. But he gives you that versatility as a running back / wide receiver.
And I was going to say, you don't skip a beat if Deebo don't play, because now you got this guy who kind of can he has the same intensity, runs the same, a little bit bigger, but he is coming off of an injury though.
Is he still out?
No, he's back. He played last week. He was on the return game. That they kind of weaving him back into their game plan.
I mean, look, that's a low cost, high return. I think it would be a smart look. I know there's rumors saying around Jalen Johnson from the Bears, but listen, I can't see San Francisco going after somebody and having to give up a pretty decent compensation for a guy that's looking to get paid. It just doesn't align.
Mike, I'm curious to know, is the receiver that you were talking about Davante Adams, or is there another one?
Oh, no, I just meant receiver in general. I didn't have a specific person in mind. I apologize.
How would you guys feel about Jerry Jeudy?
I'd like him coming out of college, but there's something I don't know. I don't know.
He was in Denver, Tony.
I don't. There's something about him with that whole exchange, the way he acted with Steve Smith on the sideline on national TV, trying to show up. Steve, you don't do shit like that, especially when you're a receiver who's.
I mean, he explained what happened though. He explained why he did it that way.
Yeah, but don't go around acting like you're the shit and produce 2 catches for 10 yards after you did that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're gonna act that way, back it up.
I mean, but
I just think that's a maturity issue, like flag for me.
Respect.
I sent the link.
I mean, honestly, I'm gonna say this. and it would not surprise me. Darnell Hunter's on the final year of his deal.
Oh, Daniel, yeah.
And if they smack the Vikings this week, they are falling hard in Minnesota. And that is the type of move I could see John Lynch make.
Oh, but you said offense.
No, I'm saying if it's offense, that would be the one guy, and then flip it to the defense. I just think this team loves investing in the defensive line. I really do.
You think they're disappointed in their pass rush so far this year? Don't y'all lie to me either.
I think teams are taking it away. I really do. I mean, you see this team getting screened a whole lot more. They're getting the ball out quicker on quick reads, quick throws, hot routes. I like what I saw from Gregory last week. Made a couple tackles for a loss in the backfield. Big sack. What?
No Drake Jackson last week. Interesting, right?
No, Drake was in there, but he just I don't know what it is with that kid. He comes out fucking flying, and then all of a sudden it's just like.
I wonder if it's because they like the responsibility or the roles that they asked him to do, and then I wonder if it has something to do with that. Like you know what I mean? Like it just seemed like week one, he just played football, and then they start critiquing and they start dialing in where he needed to do better or ask him to do a different response, and then it just kind of seems like I don't know. I would like to see more from Drake Jackson, but it just seems like his roles are going to get more limited if Randy Gregory's role starts trending upwards. So we'll see what's good with that. We'll see what's good with that. All right, I do want to read. We got a couple of super chat contributions. Peachy, you've been a member for 10 months. So I just wanted to highlight Peachy.
Also, Peachy was talking about Cordell Patterson to the Niners for a while now.
Yes, she has. Jax Knox gifted a membership, but it's far up there, so I can't tell who you gifted it to. And then Mike, this is from Nothing But Niners. Philip Wilson. He says we need corners and offensive linemen.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of like our corners. I know I try to, downplay Charvarius Ward and all that. It's not that I don't think he's good or serviceable. I just think I think Lenore is better. That's all. But I'm good with our corners, if I'm being completely honest with y'all.
And it seems like Isaiah Oliver is trending upwards, right? Like it seems like he's trending upwards from the nickel.
And we're supposed to be getting Womack back as well. So I mean,
Womack has been eligible to return. I don't know how Kyle Shanahan is rocking this IR because Danny Gray is eligible. Darrell Luter is eligible off the PUP, even though he's a rookie. And I can see none of those rookies playing, right? I can see none of them getting any burn. But why not Samuel Womack? Why not bring him back? Is it because we don't have an injury there? I don't know. But I think he's just a player that's going to be used in the stash. And when they need him, they'll bring him back. So,
or what about this Anthony Brown that they signed?
Anthony Brown is on the active roster, so it's weird, right? Like
we haven't seen him.
Haven't seen him ever. Like, and I mean, I could tell you if he's played special teams or whatnot, but like other than that, yeah. 6 minutes, yo. 6 minutes. We out. I got things to do. 6 minutes.
All right, well, go ahead. I'm going to jump off. Let somebody else come on if someone else comes on.
All right. Thanks for joining, Tony. You know you're always welcome. I just assumed you were working. My bad.
I was supposed to be, but I'm
always working. Always working, man. All right. So what's your poll at right now? See you later, Tony. Thanks, man.
Oh, I ended the poll, but it was all no. Like it was not all no, but it was. Let me see if I can get the results. Because your poll is gonna be there for a minute because you got a whole day to go.
Yeah, well, I just wanted people to talk about it. You know what I mean? I can't believe that though. It's still very, very one-sided. I mean, not one-sided. I'm sorry. I got to stop saying it's still very even. I mean,
so 64%, we had 123 votes. 64% said no.
No, they would not make the trade. And right now it's about 51% saying no in the other poll.
So it'll probably stay that way.
Right.
You know, like Drake teeter in the middle, like, you know what I mean? And then win the poll, and that 0.01% might go yes or no. Like,
right. So that doesn't that mean it's not a terrible idea then?
oh no. I hope you didn't. I hope you don't. You didn't think I came off thinking that this was terrible.
No, no.
But what you did was you put hell yeah and hell no, which puts it to the extreme. Like, there's that grin. I'm telling you, that's
This
what
is
you did.
smile. This is the whole. I showed all my teeth. You count all 32, 30. I don't know how many is in there now, but 30 something, 31.
But that's my point, because you put the word hell in front of it. It kind of insinuated that it's like, hell no, I ain't making this trade. Hell yeah, I'm making this trade. And just instead of saying yes or no.
I think people should be excited about that kind of trade, man. TC says, I'm doing that trade. You damn
Yeah,
right we doing that
a
trade,
lot of,
man.
I mean, look, I'm not saying it's a trade that doesn't make sense, but I know we traded for a wide receiver, but we gave up draft picks. You didn't give up Deebo Samuel to get Emmanuel Sanders. That was Deebo's rookie year, and we can say that Emmanuel Sanders he was more of the route runner on the team. He was the guy that was able to get down the field, the intermediate routes for Jimmy Garoppolo, being at the spot so Jimmy could just throw the ball with confidence. But that's kind of like what ignited Deebo. That's kind of where we got to start seeing Deebo do different things, and Kyle introducing the different personnel packages and stuff like that. So I don't know.
I got a little emergency I got to go deal with.
Okay. So guys, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Mike, take us.
Sorry. No team is safe when the Niners are on the prowl. I'm Mike. That's Wayne. This is No Harm, No Foul. We'll see y'all on the Overreaction shows tonight. Peace.